The girl is cleaning the fan when her employer sees her. Then the employer comes back and says, "What are you doing?" The girl says, "The fan got dirty, I'm cleaning it." The employer says, "Come down immediately." The girl comes down. The employer says, "I have clothes that need ironing." The girl says, "I'll do it after cleaning the fan." The employer says, "Quickly iron my clothes." Then the employer snatches the duster from the girl. Then the girl walks away from there. Then the employer also follows her. Then the girl is cleaning the floor in the room. Then the employer comes and says, "What are you doing?" The girl says, "I'm cleaning the floor." Then the employer says, "Quickly stand up." Then the girl stands up with difficulty because she is pregnant. The employer says, "If you can't work, then why do you do it?" The girl says, "Let me finish cleaning. I'll tell you later." The employer says, "You are incapable of work. Now leave from here." Then the pregnant girl leaves. Then the employer picks up the bucket, etc. herself. After that, when the pregnant girl is picking up the gas cylinder, the employer comes and says, "What are you doing?" The girl says, "You told me to make tea. That's why I'm doing this." The employer says, "Last time also, the cylinder got a leak because of you. You want to cause us a loss on purpose." The girl says, "I don't want to cause you a loss. I was just doing this to make tea." The employer says, "If you don't know how to make tea, then don't make it. Okay, quickly go and iron my clothes." Then the pregnant girl leaves from there. After that, when the pregnant girl comes to the employer's room and says that she is going home, the employer also gives permission. The employer said, "Okay, take these fruits to your home, otherwise they will spoil." The girl said, "But these are new. They won't spoil." The employer said, "I've said it once. Just take them." Then the pregnant girl picks up the fruits with difficulty and leaves for home. The next day, when the pregnant girl comes to the employer's room and says, "The dirty dishes were in the kitchen. Who washed them?" The employer said, "I washed them. Who else would wash them?" The girl said, "But that's my job. Why did you do it?" The employer said, "When you don't want to work, then why do you do it? Yesterday, I also washed the dishes." Then, at that moment, someone arrives at the door. The employer said, "Go see who has come." Then the girl goes and opens the door, and a boy is standing outside. The girl said, "Who are you?" The boy said, "The employer called me." The girl thought, perhaps the employer is firing me from the job. Then the girl brings the boy to the employer. Then the girl said to the employer, "Please don't fire me from the job. I am very poor. If I made any mistake, I apologize." The employer said, "Don't worry, and you come and sit here with me." Then the girl sits down with the employer. Then the employer asks the boy, "What work can you do?" The boy said, "Whatever work you tell me, I will do it all." The employer said, "Okay, fine. You go and do the kitchen work. We, the employer and the girl, will make the rest of the food." Then the boy goes to clean the kitchen. Then the girl said to the employer, "I thought you were firing me from my job." The employer said, "I cannot fire you from the job because I remember those days when I was about to become a mother. You took great care of me. You wouldn't even go home. You would look after me all day. And you are not a servant here. You are my friend." The girl said, "I had heard that good people exist. Today, I saw it for myself." Then the employer gave the pregnant girl a leave and said, "You go rest at home." Then she leaves. This kind-hearted employer definitely deserves a like, who has kept her servant as a friend in the house.